what's going on, everyone? Matt Jarbo here through Buck Theater, and I have, quite frankly, an unpopular opinion to talk with you guys about. So, listen, I'm still bedridden at the moment. My back and my ribs and my lower back are all sorts of messed up, so I can't be at my computer. But one of the things I have been doing is I've been watching how the Snyder Cut fandom has been acting and responding to everything that's been going on over the course of the past month. I know tomorrow, April 22nd, is going to be AT&T's Investor Day, which that call should give us some information about how well the Snyder Cut has done, not only on HBO Max, but hopefully through premium VOD across the world. But me asking the question, is the Snyder Cut fandom sabotaging itself, is one that does need to be addressed. And let me put it to you guys like this. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of voices, and there's a lot of angst and a lot of anxiety, and a lot of people are perturbed because they haven't been given any concrete information. And let me just summarize all of that with one simple explanation. Warner Brothers knows exactly what they're doing, and they're making you angry on purpose. They don't want to come out and say that there is not going to be any more Snyderverse movies because they don't want you to cancel your HBO Max subscription. Zack Snyder is not going to come out and tell you that things aren't going to happen because he has repeatedly stated that he will never say no to a customer. So if Zack Snyder is telling you that he'll never say no to a customer, that means he'll never, ever, ever tell you the truth about what is happening. He'll always keep it as a what if with a big ass question mark behind it. He did this multiple times with the Snyder Cut itself over the span of a couple years. And I know people out there are going to make the argument, and good friends of mine are going to make the argument, that we waited 4 years for this, that we waited and we pushed and we did everything we could to get this thing released. But the difference, though, between the Snyder Cut or Zack Snyder's Justice League and where we are now is that was already filmed. That was already shot. All it needed was the money to get it done. So the $70 million investment to get it made, to get it finished, is minimal for AT&T and HBO Max to come up with in order to help launch the service, because they've probably already made quite a bit of that back in not only PVOD sales, but merchandise and things along those lines. The bigger problem here has everything to do with the fact that they have repeatedly said they do not want to continue down this path, that they've Hamada, the cul-de-sac, and Sarnoff, we gave him his trilogy. HBO Max put out the trilogy trailer, which I've seen some people make these absolutely asinine takes by going, no. It's only a trilogy now. It's not like, no, guys, come on. We know, like, the Fantastic Beasts franchise is going to be 5 movies. We know it's going to be 5 movies. So calling it when the Fantastic Beasts 3 comes out, a trilogy is not accurate, because we know it's going to be 5 movies. Zack Snyder's Justice League, the whole arc he wanted to push was going to be 5 films, but it's never going to get there. That's where I'm currently at with it. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen one damn bit. And I've said this multiple times, because if they were going to do it, if it did better than Wonder Woman 84, Warner Brothers would come out, they would say something about it, there'd be a press release. They would do everything they could in order to keep the hype alive, because it would have been so much of a success that it would be stupid of them to not actually come out and do something about it. And the truth of the matter is, they haven't said a word. They haven't said a word. I know people have talked about the Zack Snyder's Justice League Twitter account, how that's still active. Yeah, they put out about 1 tweet a day, which means that they scheduled it out. So they just scheduled it to come on out. That's what they've been doing. It's not hard to schedule tweets. It's what they've been up to. And you can tell that under Hamada, they want to go a different direction. Sorry, that's the truth of it. Does it suck? Yeah, it really does suck, because I want to see more. But I'm going to be a cynic realist here for a second, and I'm going to go back to the sabotage thing. So let me talk about Ray Fisher for a second, because Ray Fisher is definitely a double-edged sword when it comes to this whole situation. First and foremost, I absolutely do stand by Ray Fisher. I believe he experienced some absolute BS at the hands of John Berg and Jeff Johns and, Joss Whedon. The thing is, though, outside of Jeff Johns, those other guys are gone from the company. So getting an apology or demanding an apology from Hamada probably isn't gonna happen unless he already got an apology, and then from there, like, they're just not going to move forward with it. Gal Gadot has issued her statement on the matter, said that it was handled. Momoa hasn't said anything about it. Ezra Miller hasn't said a damn word about it because they're shooting his movie right now, and Aquaman 2 goes into production in the next couple of weeks. These guys do not want to, under any circumstances, screw with their own paycheck. And so when Ray Fisher went after Warner Media yesterday for the corporate, blue check mark, hey guys, we're still committed to equality in the wake of the Derek Chauvin or Chauvin verdict, he got really pissed off, and I saw a lot of people attack Warner Brothers as a result. That's not going to prompt them to want to make more movies with Zack Snyder. They already understand the fan base. They understand how dedicated and passionate they are, but they at this point now are just ignoring you until you go away. And the more that you get angry at them, and the more that you attack them, and the more that you tweet restore the Snyderverse under every single thing, the more it's going to push them the other direction. There's no completed work here to put money into to get finished. There's just not. Are the actors going to be available to come back and actually start working on a new project anytime soon? No, it's not. They're not. I mean, what we might get is some Pocket Universe stuff that might come out of it over on HBO Max, which would probably be the better bet for right now. But I don't think that Warner Brothers, WarnerMedia, HBO Max, and Sarnoff, Casey Bloys, or Jason Kilar are going to want to invest the money into having parallel universes running, even though they are already doing that with the Batman, which again is just showing you that they only really care about massively tentpole characters, and those characters just so happen to be related to Batman. They realize probably that Superman is not the best property to market because he's not as popular on a, I guess you could say, on a worldwide level anymore. Not to say that the character is not popular, but look at the financials. Man of Steel did really good. Like, it did over $700 million, and it should have warranted its own Man of Steel 2. Instead, that kind of tied into BVS. BVS was sabotaged by the old guard at Warner Brothers. Same with Justice League. And they've done so much bad PR work to their own company that at this point, you can almost just realize that they want to just move past it all and start over again, which is the typical DC Warner Brothers way of doing things. The problem, though, is that they're the gatekeepers and that they are the ones who hold the cards and have the cash. And the more that the people who are frustrated act out in frustration and don't start thinking tactfully or strategically, the more it's going to not go your way, because there's no leverage at this point in time. There's no leverage. Following the numbers look good from what's been there, but those are just numbers they can use to say, hey, look, we did this one thing, it did really well. You know what? This is going to tie in well for the next future slate of DC films. And that's kind of the truth of it. I could be wrong. I'll be fully transparent. I could be wrong, but I've been paying attention for the last month, and I've been saying these things for the last month, and there's been no movement from Warner's or Zack. Zack essentially said at JusticeCon that it was done. And that angered a lot of people, but they don't want to believe it. And I think that's the problem with the Snyder Cut fandom, is they're so passionate that they don't want to believe, because they did win one round and they can never have that taken away from them. But when you think about it from just a business perspective, from where we are in an entertainment business perspective right now, especially looking at the worldwide market and things like that, the nearest ability to get something like Justice League 2 and 3 off the ground would take anywhere between 3 to 5 years. And is Gal going to want to do it in 3 to 5 years? Momoa, Affleck, Ezra Miller, are they going to want to do it? And you know what? Talking about Ray Fisher, I don't know if he's considered toxic or not. Who knows? He doesn't mind tanking his film career because he's got theater experience, and Broadway will always be there. And he's got name recognition on that front. But if Ray Fisher is looked at as being a problem with studios, they're not going to want to work with him. Look what they did to Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is a much larger star than Ray Fisher. So casting him aside is not going to be much of a problem. He's already accepted that. He's already stated that. And he probably doesn't give a shit. Like, yeah, would you want to mecha cyborg? Sure. But there's certain conditions that would have to be met. And those conditions probably, because of the ego of Hollywood, won't be met. So I'm just telling you guys from my perspective right now, what I've been seeing predominantly in the last couple of days, but over the course of the past month, is that the passionate people are there, and that's fantastic. But I think it's getting to a point where many of them are starting to sabotage themselves, and many influencers who are, gatekeepers in this fandom, don't want to, don't want to tell you the cold, hard truth, because I think many of them are afraid that they'll lose their access that they have. And you know what? I get it. I understand that from a business perspective, 100%. But the thing is, guys, I think someone's got to be the adult in the room and tell you the cold, hard reality. I don't like it. I don't support it, but it's unfortunately something that's there. And I think the more of you that don't take a second to pause and think about all the factors that have gone into this last month and why there's been a dead silence outside of the Ann Sarnoff interview, it should tell you something. And after tomorrow, when nothing probably happens at the AT&T Investor Day, it's going to just showcase that the nail in that coffin has finally been hammered in. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe Zack Snyder is like the Lazarus of this entire thing. Maybe he's a Lazarus pit. I don't know. But based upon what I've seen, what I can tell, it's not going to go the way you think. And I just want people to manage their expectations, and realize that this is all business. And sometimes business doesn't go the way that you want. Again, I know that is very much an unpopular opinion, and that is okay. I can live with that. I will talk to you guys later. Please leave your comments. I want to hear what you have to say about this, and peace out.